All right, welcome back to Golf Subpar with Colt, Knost, and Drew Stoltz. And also, welcome back, Fanatics, because we are back with our friends at Fanatics Sportsbook, and we wanted to tell you about their offer for new customers, the Gameday Guarantee. Every single football game day now until October, new customers get up to $100 back in FanCash if your football bet loses, guaranteed. If you're betting with Fanatics Sportsbook, you're either winning or winning money back in FanCash. Your old sportsbook, they're out for the season. Go check it out yourself. Download the app, Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app. It's good to have Fanatics back, and it's good. Football's almost here, Sleaze.
Officially the last Saturday for a long time without football. Line them up this week, week 0. We got Iowa State, K-State playing abroad over in Dublin. You want to know the first domestic game in the United States? Definitely worth a wager. Nichols State versus Incarnate Word. And I'll be watching.
Incarnate Word.
The Incarnate Word stacked up this year. They hit the portal hard.
I'm guessing you looked, but I would guess that I damn sure know. I don't know where that is.
Don't know where either of them are, but I'll be watching them. I'm going to be tuned in.
Nichols State. Actually,
I think that's in the South.
Okay, whatever.
Hard to say.
Doesn't matter. Big game
at this point.
But next weekend, Texas, Ohio State. 1 versus 2 right out of the gates.
Lee Corso's final on game day.
Noon kickoff. I know it's on Fox, so that's their deal, but God, that sucks.
I just want it. Just feed it all into my veins. Saturdays, if you need me going forward, I'm out of commish.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, let's get to some golf because it was an awesome weekend in the world of golf. Surprise, surprise. Scottie Scheffler does it again. 4 back going into the final round. No problem at all. Erased that deficit in like 3 holes. Ends up winning by 2 over Robert McIntyre at the BMW Championship. The guy just doesn't play bad. Going all the way back to the Masters, his worst finish is tied for 8th. That's 13 straight top 8s. The same as Tom Weiskopf did back in the 80s. The best run we've seen since then. It's just phenomenal. We say it over and over. We're running out of things to say about him. He's just so much better than everybody else. And even when he looks a little jammed up, champions deliver when they need it the most. The chip in on 17. I mean, Robert McIntyre looked like his jaw hit the ground. It's like
a dog died.
It's like me and Lamb and Sigsby when that dude hold that shot at Gaza. It's just like, what the hell just happened? His shoulders were like
around his waist, and his caddy too. They're just sitting there like, are you shitting me? Thought they had a chance. By the way, he was 4 back going into the final round. It was really a 2-man race at that point, and he did some things that normally, if you're 4 back on a Sunday, you need a pretty clean round to do. Scottie missed a few 8-footers, had an easy up and down on 12 that he did, 3-putted on 14, I believe, from 18 feet. He did things that if you're 4 back and you do those things, you shouldn't win, but he still wins. And it almost felt like, I don't know about you, on the first hole when he cut it in half, it was just like.
Yeah, we got a problem.
Things were going real fast for McIntyre and real slow for Scottie. He's more comfortable being in contention in the lead than he is not being up there. And it was just, dude, we're legitimately, I don't know what more we can offer on Scottie Scheffler than he's just head and shoulders better than everyone.
I believe going into the 4th round, you're talking about a 4-shot deficit to a world-class player, a 2-time winner on the PGA Tour, a Ryder Cupper, guy who's going to be on the Ryder Cup once again this year. Scottie Scheffler was plus 165. To win the golf tournament, spotting a guy. He's not spotting a club pro 4 shots. He's spotting Robert McIntyre 4 shots, and they expected him to come back and win. And I'm not one bit surprised. I would have loved to have gotten on that before the 2-shot swing at the first, because then I'm sure it switched to Scottie Scheffler minus 120 in a hurry.
Yeah, what is he this week to win at East Lake?
Plus 165.
That could be the bet of the week.
Or actually,
I don't hate it.
Before the show, just looked at Fanatics, plus 150.
How about minus 8,000 for a top 20.
Okay.
You want to take a little
There's
dabble?
30 people in the field.
You only got to beat 10 of them, dude, and that pays. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's a lot. But, yeah, dude, by the way, Bobby McIntyre is close to having an unbelievable site. He was right there at the Open. Needed a 3-putt from J.J. Spawn. Catch playoff, obviously, that went in. And then what happened to him? He's got a couple bad beats on the closing stretches of some big tournaments here, but playing good. A lot of Europeans playing good. Ryder Cup talk, of course, is hot. What do you think this week did? Really the only player, bubble guy, 2 of them that played well that I think matters, Sam Burns, Mav McNeely. Did that cement anyone in, cement anyone out? Andrew Novak, by the way, my pick last week. DFL.
If you flip the leaderboard upside down.
He beat Daniel Berger.
Yep.
AWD. Shout out, Daniel. But Ryder Cup wise, did this week do anything to change your thoughts the week prior?
Barring a win from Andrew Novak at the Tour Championship, I think he's out. I think Sam Burns just continues to make his case. Like, I know he hasn't won. He's played some great golf at the runner-up at the RBC. Close again here this week. With how good of a putter he is, I think Sam Burns has played his way onto that team.
You think final he's on, even if he finishes 23rd this week?
I do.
Okay.
Maverick McNeely, I don't know. There's just something about it. I know he's a great player. He was a dominant college player. He's only won once on the PGA Tour, but there's just something about it that I cannot just say I can see Maverick McNeely being a captain selection.
I kind of feel the same way, but I don't know why. Why is it that Mav is like, he just played great this week? If that was somebody else on the bubble, like throw Jordan Spieth's name in. If he was in the exact same spot going in as Maverick McNeely, like inside the top 12 and then just played great, you'd be like, oh, Jordan Spieth's on the team.
But he's not.
He's not Jordan Spieth. But I said the same thing about Ben Griffin, too. I was like, this guy's got to be on this team. Look at what he's done this year. He's played good week after week after week. Just went and did it again this week after starting, 6-0.
Got to monitor the creatine
Yeah,
intake.
6 over through 3 is a tough spot to be in. Battle back. Like, he's on the team. But I felt the same way about him. Like, he was very much a fringe guy where I was like, if you just attach another name to his resume, he's a slam dunk on this team. But for whatever reason, those two guys I feel like are the ones that, like, you got to do extra to get on.
Yeah, it's going to be this. There's a lot riding on the Tour Championship. You know, Chris Gotterup just got a lifeline.
Got to win.
Thank you, Victor Hovland, for birdieing the 72nd hole, which didn't seem like he had any. Yeah, and Ricky had the meltdown coming in, but Victor birdies the last, playing alongside Michael Kim, knocks Michael Kim out, allows Chris Gotterup to get in that 30 spot. I thought Michael Kim was a great sport afterwards. He tweeted, "Victor and I used to be friends."
He was looking like he was stamped for East Lake, and he had to have a few things happen, and they all did. And he ended up missing out on that. That was a really bad beat for him. Stay on Ryder Cup for just a second. Keegan, now, where does he fall? Like I would have said 2 weeks ago, and every player you've interviewed, that we've interviewed that has been interviewed anywhere, said Keegan's got to be on the team. He's one of the 12 best Americans. Do you still feel like he's a slam dunk on the team?
His play's fallen off a little bit since the win at the Travelers. He did finish 17th at the BMW. Granted, there was only 50 players in the field. He's fallen to 11th in the points list. I think for him, the way it's going right now, it almost makes it easier on him to not have to pick himself. Like if he would have kept that run going where he was in contention a lot, having all these very high up finishes, I think it would have been a more difficult decision. Now, if he goes and gets a contention at East Lake, different story. But if he finishes middle of the pack once again or finishes 20th out of 30, like I just think he's going to be like, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to be the captain. This is awesome. This has been a lifelong dream of mine. I'm going to really enjoy it. I'm going to embrace being a captain and give it all I got.
Yeah, and I feel like both Maverick McNeely and Keegan, I don't want to say they're like benefiting, but it's like normally, you know, we change the format so we can pick later in the year, just catch the hot hand. Like who's crazy hot outside the top 12? They like got to have him. I mean, we mentioned Sam Burns. He's playing really good. I think Cam Young would be the only other one
he finished
that
11th.
you could look to. The other guys, Novak didn't do himself any favors. Harmon Gotterup didn't do himself any favors. Like, there's no one that's just jumping off the page is like, gotta have them in. I think it's still a real sticky spot in terms of Keegan playing, not playing. I don't know if it comes down to this week or not, or if he's already made his mind up one way or the other. But I mean, Sam Burns and Cam Young playing very, very nice, but it's not like, whoa, gotta have them.
I like both of them to be on the team. And also, Scottie Scheffler, for the record, has 37,000 Ryder Cup points. I believe Xander Schauffele is
14.
Or JJ Spawn is second at 14,000.
Mm-hmm.
You could
numbers
2, 3, and 4 combined are barely ahead of Scottie Scheffler.
Scottie has already qualified for the 2034 Ryder Cup.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's I said, we're out of stuff to say, dude.
I saw Brandel Chambly put out a tweet this morning talking about Scottie and how great he is, obviously, and his scoring average this year. Tiger Woods had the lowest scoring average on the PGA Tour 9 times. Only twice has he been lower than what Scottie is right now, which is just over 68. That was in 2000 where he just went nuts. In 2007, Scottie is almost a full shot ahead of Rory McIlroy as far as scoring average, who is number 2. So you're talking almost 4 shots a tournament. He is better than the next best player on the PGA Tour. I
and it's so hard. I don't think you can compare like Tiger's scoring average versus Scottie's because like different golf courses, different majors, different weather, but when you got apples to apples, Scottie and Rory played damn near identical schedules. Like that gives you a pretty good indicator. The fact that he's won a shot better than the next best. I mean, it's just I mean, it used to be like, what if he putts good? What's going to happen? Now, like, he's a great putter now. He doesn't have to be on all cylinders. He's like one of the only guys that can do it. It's just, I mean, it's the same thing over and over, rinse, repeat. Even when he plays bad, it's like, oh, he messed up this and that, and he ended up losing by a shot. Like Memphis, he damn near was there.
Yeah.
And he didn't even play, anything close to how he's capable of playing.
I would love to add it up at the end of the season because all these great finishes, like how many total shots he lost by. Like it's going to be absurd.
Yeah. I mean, dude, he's won 5 times in 18 starts this year. He didn't start winning till May.
Yeah.
If he hadn't put a hole in his hand trying to cook, what could he possibly have done this year?
Scottie.
I mean, he was playing good golf. He was still finishing in the top 10 all the time, outside of like 1 or 2 events. But you don't think he wouldn't have taken him to May to win without that? I mean, it's ridiculous.
He went on that shitty stretch like in the middle of the summer around the U.S. Open, Scottish Open, and I believe Travelers, where he finished 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah, I thought he was going to hang it up at that point.
What a bum.
Flash in the pan.
All right, well, that wasn't the only show going on in the golf world. A little tournament called the U.S. Amateur out at
Ever heard of it?
Olympic Club. Nice little place. Got to be a good player to win around there, Sleeves. But the 125th U.S. Amateur, I was out there all week. And, man, it's one of my favorite tournaments to cover. Not just because I won it obviously means a lot to me, but just to see the passion these kids play with, how the gallery gets to walk down the fairways with the players. And it's a major championship setup. It's on a brutal golf course. But Mason Howell, man, what a stud this kid is. 18 years old, going into his senior year of high school. He's committed to Georgia, go Dogs, and goes out there and he wins the whole damn thing. Beat the fridge in the final. Jackson Harrington, the big boy out of Tennessee, who's a hell of a player, man. This kid moves at 130 mile an hour club head speed. But just such a special week being out there at Olympic. I hadn't been back since 2012, the U.S. Open, and then obviously since I won in 2007. But special place, special week, and I'm telling you right now, this kid is coming. Earned himself a spot on the Walker Cup team. His idol growing up was Harris English, and if you watch him play golf, you can see why.
Yeah, he looks like 7 other guys that played at Georgia, by the way. Fun fact, he was born in the year 2007.
Yeah,
so
he told me
neat.
he remembered watching it.
That's neat. That's a good feeling. We're men. We're old. And Jackson Harrington, yeah, I got a sneak peek at him a couple years ago, paired up with Blades Brown at the 4-ball. Good team. Even that's when I came back, I was like, we played 2 16-year-olds from Tennessee that are fucking awesome. Yeah, turns out they're pretty good. Only going to be a sophomore, too. Dude, how young these kids are now going in. The fact that Hal's not even in college yet, when he's already done that. You got Miles Russell, who's in there, till late in the game.
16.
Didn't make the Walker Cup team, which I don't know. I mean, he'll have plenty of opportunities, but like it's just getting younger and younger. They're so good. But that golf course, man, I hadn't seen it since the redo. It's lost some trees. They've softened some of the fairways up, but it's such a cool golf course. I think the fact you have to hit the fairways, it's like a throwback in the sense like you got to think a little bit. You don't just grab driver and pound it. If you miss fairways, no chance to play that golf course missing fairway. That's what happened to Jackson in the finals. Like he just couldn't hit it in the fairway, and Howell just got to pepper him fairway green. He drove it unbelievable, by the way. And just pepper, you just can't. It's so hard to just make pars from the rough, and you can't make any birdies unless you just get really lucky. I mean, I love watching golf like that.
Yeah, you go to that golf course and you play match play, and you say, "I'll take 18 pars." You're going to win probably 90% of your matches. There's going to be the occasional guy that gets hot and beats you, but it's just so difficult. It's a golf course you can't press. You can't really play aggressive on and try to make up shots here or there. It just kicks you in the ass from the first tee on. It was awesome to be there. Got to give some love to Niall Shields Donegan, who grew up. He's from Scotland, moved over here when he was 4 years old, plays at a golf course called Mill Valley Golf Course, which is just this little public track. Woke up before school when he was much younger, would be on the range at like 5 a.m. hitting balls before school. This kid's a stud, went to Northwestern, just transferred to North Carolina. But he was there in match play, and he had, I swear to God, the entire town out there watching him play golf. He had so much support. It was incredible to see. Every single match he played went to 18 or went into extra holes in one of his matches. But it was awesome to see them come out. It was... I got goosebumps on 17 when he was playing the fridge and he was 1 down. He had like a 5-footer to tie it going into 18 and he made it, and the place just went nuts. No matter where you were on the golf course, you knew exactly where Niall was. It was cool. Shout out to all those fans that came out. I thought Brentley Romine, who interviewed him, I believe, after his quarterfinal match,
That was an all-time golf interview.
It was an all-time match, first off. I think they had like 7 or 8 birdies between them on just the back 9 alone. And then Brentley interviewed him, surrounded by all his people going nuts. Fantastic.
It looked like they were talking to the quarterback at the 50-yard line after you just upset Alabama.
Yeah.
Like it was awesome. You just don't see that in golf. It's one of my favorite events outside the major championships. Probably my favorite event to watch in golf, not counting the Ryder Cup, obviously, but cool week out there, awesome venue, and we're going to hear more from this kid pretty soon. It turns out the 63-63 shot at U.S. Open sectionals, not a fluke.
No.
Pretty good player.
And also, they combined, I believe, for the youngest combined age of the finalist of all time.
Yeah.
That's just...
25 now, you're like washed.
You're so old.
Washed, bro. Yeah. Get out of here.
But special week at Olympic Club. Thank you to everyone who put on that great event and also who came up and said hi. It was cool, man. It was special to be there all week. And it's freezing in San Francisco, though, I'll tell you that. I don't like the weather out there.
Headed up in a couple weeks. Going to have long johns guaranteed, no matter what, even if the sun's out.
All right, it's time to get zoned in with our friends at Zone Nicotine. And Sleeves, we got a nice little podcast right here, okay? We talk some golf, got some celebs, some athletes on. Things are good, okay? But we're looking for a little bit of a boost. And I don't know if you know this, but there's this podcast out there called New Heights. Have you ever heard about it?
Heard of it.
Jason Kelsey, Travis Kelsey. Apparently, Travis dates someone rather famous. And she recently came on the pod. Her name's Taylor Swift, arguably the most famous person in the world. And
the most powerful.
Yes. And this is our formal invite.
Yeah.
To get zoned in, Taylor, and come join us. Talk a little golf. You know all about your football. I think it's time to learn about some golf now. You'd look great sitting right here in the studio in Scottsdale, Arizona, and have a time. Chop it up, and hopefully you can do a little something for our pod like what you did for New Heights.
What was the live stream?
Live stream on YouTube had 1.3 million people tuned in.
Useful.
The first 24
live stream
hours.
On a podcast.
Yeah. The first 24 hours, they had 13 million downloads.
Good run.
Okay.
It's got to bump up the average.
The 28 days leading into this pod before she came on, New Heights had 2,045 new Instagram followers. In the 48 hours after Taylor Swift came on, 312,817 new followers. Also, their female demographic grew by 600%.
Dude, she's a one-man army. God. A one-man army. She changes everything. Everything. People freak out when they show her at the football games. Oh, pan up to the box. That's why. That's why they do it. Yep. Probably got a bunch of people watching at home. Young girls like turn the game on. They're going to show Taylor Swift at some point. She's a one-man wrecking crew.
I'll give you a couple more numbers here. Instagram, 379 million views on Instagram. The New Heights podcast gained 400,000 new subscribers on YouTube.
Good.
And they now have over 3 million followers on their Instagram
Hopefully
page.
They're turning a profit over there at New Heights. It'd be good to see something good happen, you know?
So Taylor?
Super Bowls, Taylor Swift, podcast, number one. That's all we did. Well, all we need is her.
T-Swift, Gravy,
right
Sleaze, match made in heaven.
Oh my God, it'd be electric.
God.
Electric.
We will teach you all about the wonderful game of golf. You'd be great here, and we'd be zoned in the entire time.
Goes without saying.
And by the way, our guest this week, which we're going to get to in a little bit, also a little musical act. So, Old Dominion, you better deliver like Taylor Swift did.
We'll measure up here.
All right, before we get to them, let's get to our picks this week with our friends over at Fanatics Sportsbook. Make sure you go download the Fanatics Sportsbook app, follow along, and let's see if we can close out the FedEx Cup playoffs with a winner. This is tough. Only 30 guys in the field. And as we said earlier, Scottie Scheffler's plus 150 to win the whole damn thing. And everybody's starting at 0.
I like that minus 8,000 speaking to me.
Straight up, as Connor Trias says.
Straight
up. And everybody there is playing
strokes.
Straight up.
This is infinitely better, by the way,
I agree.
than the handicap. They'd be like, who would it be? Justin Rose, starting 2 behind him, followed by someone. I'd be like, all right, here's the 3 guys to look out for. They're the only ones that have a chance. And if Scottie goes now with everyone starting levels, no one has a chance. But at least there's a fighting chance now. It's way better.
Yeah, the way the points are, it should be over, unlike over at Live, how it should have been over with Joaquin Neiman having 5 wins, John Rahm having 0, and he's your champion of the individual standings for the 2nd year in a row. Congratulations, John Rahm, another 18 million.
5 times.
5
of them.
Out of 13.
Out of 13. You won over a third of the events. Sorry, better luck next time. That will be tweaked, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That seems weird. When your winner, John Rahm, who we love, by the way, shout out on the 18 Schmills, when he gets up there and says...
Hold on real quick. Wore a Birdie Juice shirt to live.
Yeah, respect.
And that's probably what made you win
Put
again.
him over the edge, probably bumped him a few points.
We'll take 10%.
He's going to be back here soon, by the way. But when he gets up and says, you know, you can make an argument that Joaquin deserves this more than I do. Like, that's not what you want to see from your winner of your biggest thing. Like at the Super Bowl, if Tom Brady gets up there, it's like, yeah, you can make an argument that they're the better team. Like, you don't want that. And it's weird. It's creating discussion. I'll say that, but it's not like it's 5-3 on wins or 4-2. You know, and you weight them like, what'd you win? Like we see sometimes on the PGA Tour, major versus non. It's just 5-0. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I didn't even think it was mathematical. I thought it was over and done.
I'm with you. But congrats to John. We're happy for you. You looked great in your T-shirt. I messaged him. I said, dude, you look fantastic. He was, I love this shirt. The fabric's phenomenal. I said, I will have you one in every single color we make.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Head
think you should
over
wear
to
it every day.
T-Commerce, Johnny.
Yeah.
Get you a little deal.
We'll give you the code later so you can maybe you can afford it.
He needs a discount.
He does need a discount. But let's get to our picks. Fanatics Sportsbook, final leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. East Lake, the Tour Championship. This is going to be tough. But I'm going to go with the man. Hopefully he doesn't overdose on some creatine, or hopefully he does. He just takes it early enough before his round that he's all amped up, because Ben Griffin started off triple bogey, double bogey, bogey, 6 over through 3. Claims he took too much creatine. There was a massive clump in his bottle, and he just ate it all on the first hole, was shaking like crazy. But then chugged some water, settled down, made 7 birdies the rest of the way, shot 69, under par for the day after that start. So give me Ben Griffin, top 10 plus 160.
I got to try this overdosing on creatine. I've tried a lot of things before the round to stay hyped. Let's see if that works.
Caffeine and creatine.
Dude,
put it all together.
Just take the shit 45 minutes earlier. Boom. You're 7 under through 12.
Yeah.
And then
I think it might be an automatic qualifier for the Ryder Cup.
Mm-hmm. All right, plus 160?
Plus 160.
You got that? I'm going to go with a guy, also top 10, plus 200. T12 last week. That was with bogey finish, by the way. Could have been better than that. He's got his Ryder Cup spot locked up. I think it's a comfortable week. He's headed back home to the state of Georgia, where he's played some good golf before, looking to get into form before, the fall, Ryder Cup, all that. Give me Harris English, top 10, plus 200.
Does this have anything to do with Mason Howell winning the U.S. Amateur? Or you just think it's going to carry over?
He could just slide in, probably grab the bag, and just walk out to the range, and no one would question it. I mean, he looks like Harris English, Brendan Todd, Chris Kirk. All of them. He's got a type, like you said.
We joke around on here a lot about Harris English and his magician skills, because he showed us this ridiculous card trick. So I'm still going to always mess with him about that.
That's a good trick.
So I wake up the other morning at the USAM to a text before the quarterfinals from Harris English. Says, my boy Mason is a stud. I'm like, awesome. Agree. Give me some more stuff. You obviously know him very well.
He's really good.
Nothing. Okay. Yesterday, I know he's done with his round at the BMW Championship. I text him like, standing next to Mason's dad, give me some shit. He goes, he's still a stud. I was like, you might be a better magician than info giver. Like, you are the worst.
Need to get you in the booth, Harry.
You'll be great on TV. But Harry, absolute beauty. All right, we're always rooting for Harris English. Love that guy. Those are our picks this week with Fanatics. Now let's get to our guest, multiple guests. These guys are studs, man. I love these guys. You know, I'm a huge country music fan. Old Dominion, some of the best in the business. 2 of their members of the band, Brad and Trevor, join us here on Subpar.
All right, it is a pleasure to welcome on country music royalty here to Golf Subpar. These guys have been a part of 9 #1 singles on country radio, over 9 billion on-demand streams, not bad. Their 6th full-length album entitled Barbara is dropping August 22nd, and when they're not making hits, they play a little golf also. From Old Dominion, Brad Tursi and Trevor Rosen. How we doing, boys?
Good. How you doing?
Guys, this is going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much. You are in New York City right now doing some media stuff and also the tour, but Barbara comes out next Friday. Tell us a little about the album. Where'd the name come from?
Man, it was it started like a lot of things start in this band. It started with us goofing around and joking around, and we just thought, we were joking around one day. We were just like, it'd be funny to name an album a name, give an album a name. And somebody threw out the name Barbara, and we were laughing about it. And then, when it came time to actually name the album, we threw it out again. And the more we thought about it, we were like, it'd be kind of cool. And then we started picturing like who would be on the cover, what the cover would look like. And we always try to do something a little left to center. We don't like to just have our mugs on the front of the cover. We try to make a little artistic decision with it. So that's how it started.
All right, so there is no actual Barbara that this is named. I was curious. I was like, with 5 people, is there one girl? This is a special girl.
I mean, the thing is, over the course of creating the cover, it's the woman in the picture is, she's got some traits. She's been through a lot in life, ups and downs. She's taken it all with a positive outlook. And
she looks like she parties. But
let's say there's a little bit of Barbara in all of us.
Hell of a woman.
We all like to party, no doubt about that. Tell me, how long does it take to get an album ready to go? Are we talking years? We talking months? What's the time frame?
Sometimes faster than we want it to, but
I mean, the thing is the time of actual, it takes us, to record the music is probably done in 2 weeks. But it's 3 days here, 3 days here, 3 days. Those could be 3 or 4 months apart. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of time in between moments of working on it that we're waiting, or then you got to mix it, and that takes another couple months, and I would say about a year.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's fast enough where we're going to go in the studio in December and start working on the next one before this one's, right after this one's even out. So.
And you guys are on tour right now, I believe, a world tour. How many stops is that? And give us a little, I'm super fascinated by this. Give us a little inside look at tour life. Is it like you see in the movies? Is it all it's cracked up to be? Best thing of all time?
I mean, it depends which movie you watch. It's not Motley Crue. But, for us these days, man, it's nice when we have our own tour because we have, all of our own people. When we show up to a town, usually, say a typical weekend, we would bus out at midnight from Nashville, and usually we'll have 3 shows that weekend. So we'll kind of wake up in the town, and our stuff will be set up. We'll have a dressing room. Brad and I try to grab the sticks and get out and golf.
We used to in the beginning, I would search the venue on the Google Maps or whatever. And then I would zoom out and see where all the courses were around it. You'd see the tracks and just click on the nicest one. And we would call up and be like, hey, we want to play. But
I'm the cold caller.
Yeah, I can't. I have a harder time dropping our name than Trevor.
I got a question on that real quick. All right, you're the cold caller. What we pick up? Hello, this is so and so country club. How can I help you? What do you say? What's the pitch?
I say, can you give me the golf shot, please? So that's step one. So, so they get there, and then sometimes you can kind of tell how it's going to go depending on how you gauge the age of the person that picks up the phone. If it's you can tell it's an old man or something, and I'm like, okay, he's not going to know who we are. But a lot of times, I just say, hey, we're with a band called Old Dominion. We're in town, and we just like to try to get out on a nice course. Is there any way we can get out there? And I'd say probably 90% of the time they're like, oh yeah, sure. What time do you want to get out? And then, sometimes I get, somebody's like, well, this is a private course. Are you a member? And I say, no. And when I get shot down, it's actually hilarious because multiple times I'll say, well, can I just leave my name and number? And then if anybody wants to come to the show tonight, we can come golf and they can give you tickets. And, well, okay, I'll do that. And I say, okay, okay, what's your name? And I say, Old Dominion. So I know he say Old Dominion. He says it out loud in the clubhouse. And then he writes the number down, and I hang up, and we'll sit there on the bus. And then it'll be 2 minutes later, I'll see the phone rings. Hey, there's some people down here that really like you guys. Yeah, sure, go on out, go.
That is awesome. What are some of your favorite stops as far as when you can go out and play golf?
Oh, God. I mean, the one thing that, we have realized is that it doesn't matter where you are. You could be in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska, and there's a nice country club. It's I mean, Trevor uses the 18 Birdies app, so he could probably go back and, cherry pick a couple of I mean, we just played, where did we play in Utah? That was really cool.
Pronghorn.
Pronghorn.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was beautiful. We, we've done Pebble, Spyglass,
all the fancy
Cypress.
ones.
We got on Cypress.
But I'm just more impressed when it's just somewhere you never heard it. It's just immaculate, awesome course.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Pebble. We're going to get to that later because I was there for a rather special moment at Pebble Beach with you guys. But when you two go out and play, We got any side action on the line?
Man, I gotta say, we used to be a good match for each other, and over the past 2 years, I've just been getting worse and worse. I'm trying so hard to find it, and I can't. So now Trevor's like, I think it feels bad for me. It's like
when your buddies start, like, I'm starting to go, hey, I think you're back. When your buddy starts giving you tips, it's like, I don't know if that's like
he's seen my transformation from good to bad.
Yeah, too much backswing, man.
I've gone from a 5 to an 11. So let's put it that way.
Well,
all right, we got some work to do.
You're touring, you know? It's hard to find practice. Trevor, I got to ask you, since you were rattling off some of the courses, dude, and you said we got on Cypress. Tell me you didn't cold call Cypress.
No.
Okay.
That was actually an epic week. We played with when we played with Lanto Griffin in like, it wasn't in the Pro-Am, but it was like the day before the actual Pro-Am or whatever. And then we played on Pebble, and then we played who do we play Cypress with? Just a member.
I think we played,
and then we played Spyglass with Peter Jacobson. And then we flew the next day we played the Waste Management, like we were the show in the Crow's Nest or whatever. So we played with Parker, the short game chef.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a good weekend.
Sleaze, let's talk about that. It's the concert at the Coliseum, right? Y'all were the first.
They've done both.
Ever.
Crow's Nest and Concert Coliseum. You guys were first ones, I believe, Concert Coliseum. Back on the 16th hole, I was there. Thomas Rhett, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that was awesome. What did you think when you trotted out? I mean, that was the first one ever. We'd never been done before. That's a pretty cool venue, I would think.
Yeah, it was amazing. You don't know what to expect. I don't know if they knew what to expect, but yeah, the crowd was rocking, and you're sitting there playing on an epic hole.
It's kind of like a Thunderdome situation where it's like one of those stages where the way it's configured in the lights, you can't really see anybody, so you're just like up there playing to nobody, kind of. Like they're out there, but you can't really see them.
Before we get back to our episode with Old Dominion, I want to tell you about the home of American golf, and that is Pinehurst. With nearly 40 golf courses within a 15-mile radius, including the iconic and U.S. Open anchor site Pinehurst Resort, now is the time to make plans to play in the Sandhills of North Carolina. Aside from the golf, explore the area's 5 breweries, new destination distillery, the impeccable local dining scene, outdoor adventure, and much, much more. Plan your next golf trip and check out the latest packages and some suggested itineraries at homeofgolf.com. Be sure to also stop by the World Golf Hall of Fame and USGA experience at Golf House Pinehurst. Find it all at homeofgolf.com. That's homeofgolf.com. Now back to Old Dominion.
Well, for like golfers, they always have, a pre-round routine. Give me the pre-show routine for you guys. Is there one?
Well, I mean, just right before the show, we always get all the crew and our guests and the band together, and we do shot of Terra Negra tequila, the tequila that sponsors our tour, and it's just our tour manager picks someone from the crew or a guest to give it to, kind of puts them on the spot to do a little toast, and that's kind of gets everyone together before the show. That's our routine.
Do you guys still get nervous? We talked to golfers about this, like first tee after you've been on tour for 12 years. Like, are you still nervous? You guys have been doing this a long time. You played all the venues. Do you still show up for a show wherever it might be? Are there nerves when you first get out there?
Not for these type of shows. The ones we just went in and played Howard Stern yesterday, and those are the ones. Our award show or TV. Those are the ones that the nerves come back in sometimes because it's like, I don't know. It's weird. You'd think playing in front of, 10,000 people would be nerve-wracking, but it's playing in front of nobody where they're recording you and you have to play it right one time. Sometimes the nerves come in there.
Give me your top 3 venues y'all have played.
Red Rock, in Denver.
That's always
It's always top.
There's New Hampshire, Guilford, New Hampshire.
Oh yeah.
There's a great venue there. What is it called?
It's got a name.
I don't know. It's in Guilford, New Hampshire. They just have a great, that particular venue really takes care of the artists. They have great catering, and they set up wiffle ball games and dodgeball games, and so it kind of gets everyone out there. And
bonfire. It's by Lake Winnipesaukee.
So right on the lake. You can jump in the lake. And usually you play 2 or 3 nights in a row there, so you can kind of set up camp.
Yeah, and we mentioned, Phoenix Open, Crow's Nest, Pebble Beach up there with Colt. and you mentioned Lonto Griffin also. You guys are around golf all the time. Have you developed relationships with many of the tour players out there? Guys that you keep up with?
Not too many. We've also played with Andrew Putnam one time. So, they'll come out to shows sometimes, or, we'll send them a text here and there if they're doing well on the leaderboard. Like, hey, go, buddy.
By the way,
Stephen Ames. He's on.
Stephen Ames.
Stephen Ames. He's great.
He's a good dude.
Can the short game chef not get you back down to a 5? I mean, what's he doing?
Dude.
Short game should be automatic.
Yeah, good point.
It's not that. It's right now. It's the driver.
Yeah, he needs the long game chef.
I can't. You can't. I need the. What's that show? Not Top. Is it Top Chef where they all get together, like all the Michelin chefs? I need one of those guys to help me with the driver.
The long game chef. I like that. There's a void in the market right now. We need to create the long game chef.
Yeah.
Sure, he wouldn't sue us.
Yeah, exactly. We'll trademark that. Quick. What's the next stop on the tour for you guys?
What's that?
What's the next stop on tour?
Let's see.
Well, next weekend. Not this coming weekend. This coming weekend we have a couple shows.
Calgary.
We go to Calgary actually.
Yeah.
For people. But then the following weekend is album release weekend. So Minnesota State Fair is the night the album comes out. So that's going to be a big to-do. We have all our trucks and buses wrapped in the Barbara album cover, and she's actually going to be there. And there's some cool stuff that we're going to be doing that day.
That's awesome. And hopefully play a little golf up in Calgary this time of year. It's rather nice.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Possibly.
Yeah. We always, for some reason, whenever we're in Canada, it's always January, so we can't ever play.
Yeah, this would be a rare time. Of course, we're flying, so our clubs won't be with us unless we really want to make the effort.
Well, I used to be like, I'm taking these things wherever I go, and now I'm like, I'll just get the rentals, whatever.
I don't blame you. It's a pain in the ass to travel with those things everywhere.
At this point, I should just buy 2 sets and keep.
Ship sticks, boys. Ship sticks.
Use rentals every
Ship
time,
them.
and then when you have a good round, just buy whatever rentals.
There you go.
We take a quick break from Brad and Trevor to give you a message from Shady Rays. If you're serious about your golf game, your vision on the course matters. That's where Shady Rays Golf Collection comes in. They're designed specifically for golf with color-enhancing lens tech that helps you read greens sharper, track the ball faster, and spot breaks and contours you'd usually miss. They're lightweight, engineered for glare reduction, and have a comfort fit, so you'll stay dialed in even on long rounds. And here's the best part. If you lose or break them, Shady Rays will replace them. Seriously. This is more than just eyewear, it's a performance upgrade. Shady Rays Golf, here to elevate your game. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com and use code SUBPAR for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Now, back to our interview. Hey, I got a question for you guys with this new album coming out. You've had so many smash hits. What I mentioned, 9 number-1 singles. You've had a lot of albums. This is your 6th full length, I believe. When you're releasing something, do you know, when you first get a song, this is the one, dude? This, Snapback or something. This is going to be the one that crushes.
You sometimes think you do, but, we've done this long enough that you have a feel for it. You have a few favorites, but you never really know until you put it out there and the people let you know. So there's been times where songs surprised me where I was like, that wasn't my favorite, but now it's huge. And then sometimes you're like, oh, we got one here, and it dies at 12 on the charts or something. You just never know.
Take me through the process of writing a song. Sleaze and I have had a couple of country singers on here, and we talk about it, but it still just blows my mind. One, getting the words down on the page, then matching the music actually up with it. What comes first? And I just don't understand the whole process of how you put it all together.
It can come either way. For me, I was always, from an early age, fascinated with melody. So for me, I think before I moved to Nashville, there's something fascinating about coming up with a melody that feels like it hasn't been done before. And it's so good, you don't even care what the words are. You just want to play the song and sing to it over and over. So to me, if you can do that, then most of your job is done, and then, you got to find an interesting idea. And, I think Nashville really taught us how to be great lyricists, really craft the lyrics, and try to be clever, try to say something meaningful that people can relate to. But sometimes it'll start with a lyric idea, a title.
Yeah, I mean, just for example, like One Man Band, our singer Matthew had that title, and like right before we were about to go on stage somewhere, when we were out with Kenny at that point.
I think so.
Like we were literally about to walk on stage, and we had the phone out, and we were kind of just like singing like whatever a little bit into the phone. And then we got back together like a few weeks later with our buddy Josh Osborne, who's written a lot of songs with us, in the Denver Broncos locker room. And we finished the song there, and it was kind of like, we were kind of had that song Rude. I don't even think that, why you gotta be so rude.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was kind of like our kind of template or whatever almost for it. But then like months later, before we were going to go in the studio, I was just in the dressing room, like messing around, trying to figure out what I might play in the studio. Sometimes I get a little anxious, like, oh, God, I got to figure something out before we get in there. And Trevor heard me doing it, and he's like, man, that's cool. Like, I like the vibe you're doing there. So then it became this kind of more mellow song. So, I mean, that happened over the course of months, Then we went in the studio, and that, it came out now. It did.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, like every one of us, if you're a songwriter, has a file of like ideas and titles, and it's just like most of them are terrible, and most of them you're afraid to throw out in the writer's room. But and then there's like on your notes too, it's like there's just millions of little noodles you're sitting on. It's like a lot of the songs that are on our albums now. I have little files of just us picking on something, or just me sitting on a couch making up a little guitar riff. And then when you show up with your buddies, it's like, I was doing this thing, it sounds cool. And someone's like, I have a title that kind of feels like that. I mean, it's a mystery, man. It really is like, that's the thing, like, that keeps us going is there's always a new great song to be written. And how does it happen? You show up and this song didn't exist, and it's like 3 or 4 hours later, you have this cool new song. So that's the thing that's like the drug, really.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I want to know this because, like, for Drew and I, being golfers, like Tiger Woods was our idol, and I think you'll never forget the first time you meet your idol. For y'all, being country music singers, like, who was the person who you always looked up to, and maybe remember the first time you actually met them?
I mean, I remember. I didn't particularly grow up on country music. I was more of a rock guy. Like, I liked like a lot of Southern, like the Black Crowes and Allman Brothers, and as a guitar player like Stevie Ray Vaughan and stuff. But I remember walking. We were playing the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, and I like walked into one of the dressing rooms. I had just gotten there, was just kind of looking for everyone. I walked in with Garth Brooks was just standing there with his guitar, like by himself, and I was like, "How's it going?" Nice to meet you. I'm Garth. They're like, nice to meet you too.
That's awesome.
Was it you and Matt that walked in on Tim McGraw at the awards show in the bathroom?
Oh no, well, yeah. So he was warming up for. It was like a ACM, I forget what it was, but he was singing. He had his whole like get up on cowboy hat, and we were just taking a piss in there, and he's singing, and we're like, oh, Tim, like sounds nice. And he didn't even break. He just kept singing. He didn't even acknowledge it.
Oh, that's good. All right, Brad, I'm glad you mentioned that. Like, you're like, I was a rock guy coming up, because that was going to be one of my questions early on. So you're a rock guy. You're now in a massive country band. How does a 5-man country band like get formed? How did you guys start? Is there like a tender for musicians?
Maybe, I don't know, but it was kind of a long process. I mean, Whit, our drummer, and our singer Matthew, they grew up in Botetourt County, a small town in Virginia, so they knew each other from like middle school. And then Whit, the drummer, and Jeff, the bass player, and myself, we all went to James Madison University, and those two were in a band together, and I was in a separate band, and we would play shows together. And then everyone left college and kind of went our separate ways. And then one by one, everyone just moved to Nashville. Trevor and myself and Matt, we moved there to kind of be songwriters. And I think Whit and Jeff moved to be, whatever, players in some respect, whether it be session or road. And, we all did a lot of that. I mean, I was on the road as a hired guitar player for Brett Eldridge and a lot of other artists that have come up. And then I don't know. You guys I was the last person to join. So
yeah, it's kind of interesting because it's like different worlds that sort of ended up together. I moved to Nashville from Detroit. I grew up in Detroit area. I moved to Nashville like 22 years ago, and it was just weird. One of the first people I met was Matthew, our lead singer, and we were just both. He had been there for maybe less than a year, and we were just trying to learn how to be songwriters and taking publisher meetings and playing open mic nights. And I got set up at an open mic night one night, and I had heard about him. Some of the publishers, I don't know why this is weird, but like some of my meetings with publishers, I'd play them my songs or whatever, and they're like, "Do you know this guy Matt Ramsey?" And I'm like, "No, but I've been hearing this name." And I walked out of a publisher meeting one day, and I was playing an open mic that night, and I called the dude, and I was like, "Hey, who am I playing with tonight?" And he's like, "Got you in a round with a guy named Matt Ramsey." I was like, "Oh, that's weird." And it was one of those things on stage where he played a tune. I'm like, "Damn, that's awesome." And I played one. He's like, "That's cool." And so we just exchanged numbers and became friends. I don't even think we wrote a song for a year. We just started hanging out, and our families became friends. But so we he and I wrote a ton of songs, for years before the band really happened. Actually, he was we were both doing our own thing, and then he was playing with Whit and Jeff, who had moved to town. And they played a lot, and then they were playing so many songs that Matthew and I wrote that I would just jump up and do harmonies. I'm like, I'll just sing on the ones we wrote, and then the whole set was kind of like ones we wrote. And I kept showing up, and then at one point he was like, "Are you gonna like come every time?" And I'm like, "Yeah, if I'll come every time if I'm available." He goes, "No, I mean like, are you like in the band?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." I mean, that was probably still 5 years before we made it, but. We started getting success as songwriters, and we started getting cuts and started getting hits. And then, by that time we had been writing with Brad a lot, and Brad joined officially, and everything just kind of come together. People started noticing this band of songwriters that had hits, and we had a sound. And at some point we were like, should we name the band and actually try to go after this? And so I guess around 2007 or so, we were like, all right, well, let's pick a name and see what happens. We still didn't think it was going to work, but here we are.
Well, I can tell you, as a huge country music fan, it worked. And we're so glad y'all did it, because it has been absolutely incredible. We're so excited for the album to come out next Friday, Barbara. But before we let you get out of here, we got to get to an E9. This is where we have a little fun with you guys. And I'm going to ask both of you this, because you have the dream job for most of us, especially golfers, being up there, being in the music business, getting to perform in front of thousands every single night. If y'all could do one other job, what would it be?
I always wanted to be a professional hockey player, but
it's not too late.
Yeah.
Never give up.
I don't know.
All right, what about you, Brad?
We always even with John Daly, who we've become friendly with. It's like, he's like a golfer that wants to be a musician. I'm like, I'm a musician. I want to be a golfer. I just want to be able to hit the golf ball, like you guys do. So I don't know. That would be pretty cool. Kind of like something else to really conquer, or never conquer, but keep trying to. You know what I mean?
Daly's sneaky got a voice. He can go a little bit.
It was funny. We would always put on that song, "Hit It Hard," in the dressing room. Yeah. Just, it was just kind of a cool, funny song. And we played in a pro-am with him, and then at sound check he was there, so we were going to work it up because he was going to come out and play it with us on stage that night. But then he never made it. I don't know what happened, but yeah,
I have a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
He got caught up, dude. Things happen.
What happened?
Yeah, flat tire. You know how these things go.
Yeah. Won that pro-am.
Yeah, Trevor shot the round of his life there.
Yeah, at the time it was my low round, 74, which is so funny. Like, as
it was in the rain.
As an everyday person, you think like, I shot 74. It's funny. Not too long after that, we were talking to some girl backstage. She was like a college golfer or something, and we were goofing around, and I was like, yeah, I shot a 74, and she goes, huh. Like she was unimpressed.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I jokingly, I go, you ever shoot a 74? She goes, not on purpose.
That's good.
That's good.
We're going to step away for a moment to tell you this podcast is supported by Carlisle Companies. a leading manufacturer of innovative building envelope systems. With buildings responsible for over a third of total energy use and energy demand on the rise, Carlisle is meeting the challenge head-on. Carlisle's advanced energy-efficient and labor-saving solutions help reduce strain on the grid while reducing labor for contractors. A great example of Carlisle's latest innovations is Henry Ultra Touch Recycled Denim Insulation made from sustainable recycled denim cotton clothing fibers. Henry Ultra Touch delivers high thermal performance for improved energy efficiency while being safe to handle and easy to install, making it ideal for residential use in wall studs, ceiling joists, and between open roof rafters. Made with 80% recycled denim, Ultra Touch diverts nearly 20 million pounds of textile waste from landfills each year. Ultra Touch insulation is just one example of how Carlisle is working towards a more sustainable future. Learn more at carlisle.com. Now back to Old Dominion.
All right. I'm going to go back to the writing thing because that's like what fascinates me the most in all of the music stuff. You're both writers. Give me one song that you've written that went to somebody else that in hindsight you're like, damn, should have kept that one.
They all had their place, right? So like when we were just starting out and naming the band, like we needed everything we could get. We needed all the momentum. So they all helped. But like there was a song that Dierks Bentley cut called Say You Do that we used to play. That was a staple in our set that, he cut and he made it a number one hit for us as writers. But that's a good Old Dominion song. I think that's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, we, I don't know. I can't say I wish, Matthew and I wrote a song for Kenny called Save It for a Rainy Day. And I mean, that song was just, we still play it. We play it every night in our set. So, I mean, we kind of just, I guess, did keep it for ourselves and there. But that one was cool just to like write it. And then not only, getting a cut by Chesney's, it's kind of like it's a revered thing in town. Get that, and then to be able to go on tour with them for 4 years and be able to go out there with them and play the song in front of those people, that was pretty
yep.
Cool.
Yep,
that's awesome.
That's a good one.
Well, this next one's kind of a little. We do this segment sometimes called "Asking for a Friend," where some people that tell us a question to ask. So it's not on us, but this is actually for you, Brad. It's from George Burge, who's a friend of the program. And he wants to know, do you bounce more ideas off the band or Mike Bender, the golf coach?
Man, I guess songwriting ideas. Maybe I got to get back to Bender. That's, but that's the thing is, everything from him, the guy I'm with now, he's telling me to do the opposite. Maybe that's what's fucking me up. I don't know. Bender's good if you're coming over the top. He'll get you coming from the inside.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I refuse to take a lesson.
Well, yeah, because he's like a badass hockey player, so he just has a natural ability to hit a thing on the ground with a stick. You know what I mean?
I feel like it'll mess me up more. I know I'll never reach the next level of golf, but I don't want to deconstruct it and be terrible to get better. I'm fine where I am.
Yeah, no steps backwards. Yeah. We're not in it for that. I don't want to go backwards. Only
Is that
forward.
A song? No
hey, there
backwards?
You go. No steps backwards. We'll workshop that. We'll wordsmith that a little bit. Yeah. But that's the premise. All right, back to writing again. Last writing one, though. I feel like everybody has like their happy place where they go, like, I'm going to go write some songs. So I need the location, the time of day, and the cocktail of choice, if there is one, for when you want to go in and put pen to paper.
Man, I wish I could say we were ripping tequila at midnight, but it's actually probably far more boring than you think. It's usually 11 a.m. in an office in Nashville with coffee. The coffee is the drink of choice, but yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I like to even like just waking up at the house, like usually just first, very early in the morning, just picking up the guitar or the piano and like something, before your mind gets going during the day and stuff. I enjoy doing it in the morning.
Yeah, one of the coolest things we did during COVID, everything was shut down. So we for our fourth album, we just booked 3 weeks out in Asheville, North Carolina. We had a studio and we had a house we lived in. And we were like, let's just show up in the morning and try to write something and then maybe record it. And we thought we'd get a few songs, but that was really cool. We'd show up at the studio that had a little living room and we'd sit there and we would write a song, in the morning, afternoon, and then we'd eat lunch. And then after lunch, we'd go upstairs in the studio and be like, all right, well, let's just try to record it. And we figured we'd get a few tunes, but we ended up over the course of those weeks writing the whole album and recording the whole album. So that was super.
Wow.
Damn.
That's
good to work.
All right. Well, you live in one of my favorite cities in the world, in Nashville, one of the fastest growing cities. Okay. Say we have a boys trip going to Nashville. The one bar you have to visit in Nashville.
I mean, that's easy.
Doesn't have to be on Broadway, but it probably is.
This is an easy answer. We just opened one called Odie's.
I knew you were going to say that.
You did that for us. I got it.
We teed y'all up. That was just for y'all.
Even if I had nothing to do with it, it's a vibe, man. It's a really cool bar. You got to check it out.
I would say, too, if you're going to go on Broadway, my favorite bar is Robert's Western World. It kind of has like the throwback vibe. And they got, the recession special there, which is a fried bologna sandwich, PBR, bag of chips, and a moon pie for $5.99 or something like that. So
what a deal. That's awesome.
Well, it just so happens our bar would be the one I would recommend. The one that we own would be a good spot to stop in. All right, well, you mentioned a couple of your favorite venues. Is there a bucket list you haven't played yet?
We're going over to the UK again in a couple months, and we've never played Wembley over there. That would be probably pretty awesome eventually. We've played the O2, and we're not playing it again this time, but that was pretty awesome to play for that many people over there.
I just saw Billy Joel at Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah,
nice.
That'd be pretty cool.
That place is unbelievable.
Is the Sphere anywhere in the makings potentially? Colt and I actually just went out there not long ago and saw Kenny.
Where at?
Oh, the Sphere. Yeah,
the Sphere.
We actually went out there and played. I was on a boat that day and Save It for Rainy Day with him at one of the shows. So we've never done our own show there, but obviously that would be awesome. But it was definitely cool to get
that place is wild.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we saw Eagles there. We saw U2 there. That's another level.
It's a cool place.
All right, last one for me. Has anyone interrupted one of your shows as bad as Jim Nantz at Pebble Beach when he drove across the 17th tee box when y'all were playing?
Jim Nantz can do whatever he wants on our show.
I got to say, talk about being nervous. So we had to do the closest to the pin challenge or whatever, and I was so hungover. I hadn't swung a club all day. And then you get up there, and he's announcing you. I think I scolded, over the green, and he's like, oh, Brad's going to need a lot more time tequila and therapy after that shot.
He doesn't miss. I'll never forget. We were sitting there, and all of a sudden, here comes Jim in his golf cart just right in front of the tee, right in front of y'all's stage.
I got to say, I didn't even think I was going to make contact with the ball. That I was shaking.
I hit a good one, actually. I thought I was going to win when somebody dropped it like this.
It was Thomas Keller, his chef.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We all know that feel, the hungover, handshaking, got to hit in front of people. That's not and Jim Nantz calling it. Not the recipe for success.
It made me like, not, we wanted to be in the Pro-Am. I'm like, maybe I don't want to be in the Pro-Am. Maybe I'm all right.
That's awesome. Oh, you guys answered you already got to one of my last E9s. So that you got any more, Colt?
Nope, I'm good, man. Just congratulations on the new album. We appreciate you coming on. Love to tee it up sometime, but make sure everybody goes out there next Friday, gets Barbara. These guys are fantastic, but really enjoyed sitting down with y'all.
Yeah, thank you, boys.
That was awesome.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that was Brad and Trevor from Old Dominion. Love those guys, man. Congrats on the new album, Barbara, by the way, which comes out this Friday. Make sure you go pick that up. 9th album.
Fine lady. Yeah,
they can go, man.
Bazillion downloads, bazillion streams, all this stuff.
First ever act at the concert at the Coliseum.
Big one.
Open for Thomas Rhett.
Old Dominion. It was awesome. That was like the trial run. Like, we'll see how this thing goes, see if this is sustainable, if this is something we could do. Place jam-packed, sold out. Now it's legitimately maybe the best part of the week.
Yeah, and I can't ever go. Thanks. Rub it in a little more.
Tough break.
Also, great story with Nantz driving his cart right across the tee box as they were playing in front of thousands of people. I was sitting over to the side just dying laughing. I was like, only Jim Nantz, just mid-concert, would drive his Mercedes golf cart right across the tee.
Who's going to check Jimmy?
Nobody. Especially
go to his house
Beach.
And hit a shot? You don't say shit. That's
Pebble
part of the
Beach,
deal.
Jim Nantz can do whatever he pleases.
I actually really like the fact that they just like cold call golf courses. Hey, we're calling. Just see any chance getting out.
Why
maybe 9:30 tomorrow. We're from Old Dominion, and then 2 minutes later the phone rings. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah, got you some concert tickets. Here's some meet and greets. We just want to play your golf course.
Hell of a good gig being a country star. We should look into that.
I would love to. That's my dream.
How are your vocals?
Not great.
We'll work with it. Auto-tune.
My stage presence is fantastic.
Auto-tune.
Yeah, me and T-Pain.
Yeah.
Rhyme Mansion in Wisconsin.
Oh, shit. Now you're talking. One of the great poets of our era, T-Pain.
Exactly. And there's nothing like rocking custom gear. I just made some Birdie Juice tees, and the whole process was fast, simple, and the quality was spot on. You can do the same. Design your own polos, hats, hoodies, and more from the top golf brands, all featuring your favorite logos. Ditch the off-the-shelf look. Visit shop.golf.com and create something that is truly yours. All right, Sleaze.
Get one. You want to play like John Rahm?
Yeah.
Saw what it did for him. By the way, Warwick shot 60.
That's true.
He was close to actually having 2 back-to-back playoff losses for the kid. Jose Le, too. We didn't even shout out Jose Le last week in Chicago. Also got himself into a
Sebastian
playoff.
Munoz shot 59 over there. No big deal.
Dude, he made, was it 17 out of 18 holes he made birdie?
At one point.
I do not care what the golf course is. I do not care anything. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I think he also said when he was giving his speech, he was like, "That's the first time I've beaten John Rahm." Something
ever.
like that. Like literally ever.
Yeah.
That's sweet. You don't hear that too often.
Not many people do beat him.
That's a run, dude. Don't care where you're doing it, what golf course, 17, 18. I don't have a name for that. That's a different.
We'll get to that.
That's the Munoz.
We don't have 10 yet.
I didn't think we needed a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll figure it out. We'll have that in time for next week's show.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. We'll come up with a little something. By the way, we got a big week. We're headed up a little pro scratch up to Flagstaff, Pine Canyon. Shout out, a phenomenal place up northern Arizona. We're gonna battle. I got the names of some people that are gonna be playing.
We are not gonna battle.
No, you guys are sacrificial lamb. We will slaughter you and then eat you. But
we are there. You'll be there for the entertainment and for the fun, and to not sweat our ass off as we do down here in Scottsdale.
Correct. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
That's not nothing. I believe we got, so it's a pro scratch, 1 pro, number of tour players, and then 2 scratch amateurs. You're the pro. You got Ben Marsh, Chris Demon. Shout out to those boys.
I have 1 scratch amateur.
You're kind of throwing them under the bus a little, saying they can't get the job done.
They know we can't. Now, the Shamble day, we could be somewhat in the mix.
Yeah.
But the second day, when it's just straight count 2 best balls out of 3, probably not a great chance for us. But you know what? We're going to give it our all. Maybe, as long as we don't finish like Andrew Novak did this past week at the BMW.
That was my pick this past week, looking to bounce back from that. I got Ricky Barnes and my boy Andrew Medley coming up. Ryan Moore is being there. Will be there with the team. Aaron Badley will be up there. Who else we got? James Hahn will be up there. Peter Tomasulo,
the Reverend,
former professional turned amateur. Petey Tomasulo, aka Wolverine, will be there.
Just got a text from Peter the other day. It's his 3rd year anniversary of being a man of the cloth. I mean, this shit's so not legit.
Korea, the Bridges Cup, there was no one performed better than Peter Tomasulo. We actually probably should do a show with him and just tell stories.
We got to
I threw out Wolverine. No one knows what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. We'll get to that.
Siete
There's
cervezas.
a little quote, Peter I like, which we could talk about too. Just the best. He will be all time. That's going to be a hell of a good run, by the way, up there.
It's going to be fun.
Thanks to Pine Canyon for putting this on.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Well, send us out of here.
I'll tell you what. You got to get zoned in when you're in Flagstaff. I will be there, but warning, this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale is prohibited. Listen, when I need to dial things in on the course, I go with Zone Nicotine Pouches. Why? 1, stronger nic intensity. The others are not even close. 2, better flavors. And 3, they last longer and more comfortable than any pouch out there. My go-to is the 9 milli Spearmint, but they make 7 flavors, both 6 and 9 milligrams. They are a game changer. Also, this is very, very important too. 20 pouches per can versus the 15 the other guys offer. It's a no-brainer. I do not play 18 without at least 1 can of Zone in my bag. I really don't do anything in my life without a Zone within arm's reach. If you want Zone pouches at a discount and mailed right to your door, you're in luck. Head to nicokick.com and enter code Subpar20 at checkout for an additional 20% off. That's nicokick.com.
Boom. There it is. All right. We'll talk to you on next week's Subpar.